Howdy ho, how you guys doing today? I thought Brad was gonna start it. Daddy's gonna start it today. What is a beautiful Saturday? It's sunny here. I don't know if it is where you're at, but I'm loving life. What is the date? I don't know, but it's episode 44. We landed on Mars, which is a fantastic thing to do. I can't remember the name now. Didn't write it down, but it doesn't matter.
I thought we already had.
Well, we did it again, but this time we're bringing rocks back. Rocks back. It's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday. I hope you guys are having a good one. I am. Is Brad?
Yeah.
That's fantastic news. Okay, episode 44, and let's start it. What's new there, Brad?
People will show the picture of Mars or whatever and be like, it's so peaceful and beautiful. And I just find it extremely creepy.
Just red and desert?
Well, they were like showing them at night, like the shot at night of like across Mars, and it's all like gray, and then there's stars everywhere. And I'm like, this is terrifying to me. This is not peaceful. There's something, I feel like something's just going to come walking like in the distance.
Like a weird little ring girl or something like that. Like,
oh yeah, fuck you. Yeah, bringing Mars rocks back. Great idea. Those things are gonna sprout fucking.
It's gonna be like Evolution or whatever that show was.
Yeah. Oh my god. Fuck. It's gonna be coronavirus 2.0. It's gonna be walking, talking coronavirus. Yeah, like Evolution. Exactly.
Dude, speaking of like creepy things. Walking. So we had like a little bit of a, storm. It was essentially the same thing that happened, in Texas. And it cut off power, Oregon lost a lot of power. And up at the dam I'm working at, they lost power and they were having problems with generators because they have like big ass generators that will run, power. And fucking that wasn't working. So where I was working, we didn't have power. We have a bunch of generators, but we didn't have power. And so the beginning of the day, and I had to do it like 3 or 4 times because I kept like forgetting flashlights and stuff. But like it shut the power up inside the dam. And there's this tunnel you have to walk through that's like 100 yards down. And then you take a right and go like 350 yards and then take a right and then another 100 yards just to get through the dam. And
Creepy.
It's just this tunnel. No windows, zero light, like 100% pitch black. And they just water dripping everywhere, just droop, 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 droop. Yeah, and it was creepy. It was a creepy
That is
thing.
creepy.
I don't know. I just equate that with the little ring girl walking across Mars or something like that. Doing it by yourself was weird, and I've been tripping out. You could if I wasn't such a skeptical person, you could almost convince me that there's ghosts in that dam. But it's this weird phenomenon. I haven't talked to anybody about it yet, but I've been like doing some research in my head, and every time I walk through the dam, there's so many little nooks and crannies where there's like these water things where it's just water dripping, like I don't know, cracks and shit where water's just dripping through. And fucking if the water's really high on the dam, there's like a bunch of water. It's like sounds like you're next to a creek. You know what I mean? It's just like running water. Yeah. But the weird thing is the echo of the hallway and then the water dripping in like every 20 feet and like little puddles. It starts to sound like people talking a little bit. And I constantly am getting this feeling like I hear people talking and I'm like, maybe it's dead people in the dam. I don't know. Someone brought up that they saw a ghost. They were just joking, obviously, but maybe they weren't. But I was like, man, I'd love to see a ghost. 100-year-old dam. If there's going to be somewhere that's haunted, that's a great place to be a haunted place.
Well, you think someone would have had to die building it.
Oh, I'm sure. Most dams, I know Cabinet Gorge out of between fucking Sandpoint and whatever, or past Clark Fork a little bit, that dam on the Montana-Idaho border on the Clark Fork. Like, I think 3 or 4 people died in that. My dad was saying, like, because dams are really popular. Most of them were being built like a little over 100 years ago. And like they'd just be pouring concrete in and people would like fall in. And then you just...
Creepy.
See you later. You know what I mean? So there's like people in the dam, like just concreted inside the dam.
Screaming, let me out. Let me out.
Yeah, we've been chipping concrete, and they brought it up like, what would happen if you just started chipping and you just came into this void and started pulling bones out and shit like that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Find some
I don't
old
know.
dead dude. Yeah, I don't think it was. Here, okay, here's a couple things.
Uh
So
oh.
it's fucking 45 degrees out right now. Fucking thank you, Jesus Christ.
It's in the 40s. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a crazy jump. Like a
Oh
50,
God.
60-degree jump.
Like an 80-degree jump. Hey, guess what? Hey, negative temperatures. Fuck you. You can go fuck yourself forever. Fuck off. I'm
Were you
sick of
running
you.
around in shorts and flip flops today?
No, I'm still wearing everything that I had been wearing 80 degrees ago because I've just it's hard to figure out. It's hard to fucking gauge it in the morning. You know, I don't know. But it's great. Thank God. It feels like springtime. Anyway,
It's
um,
fantastic.
thank you. It is fantastic. I'm surprised we made it through alive. To be honest, I would have bet against it. But look. So George W. Bush, right, the president, Junior. People hold a lot of things against him. 9/11, Patriot Act, things like that. I will never forgive him for what he did to a city that I love, and that's the city of New Orleans. Because when he abandoned them during Hurricane Katrina, I will never forgive him for that. Okay? God forgives, I don't forgive. I need to hold somebody responsible for the shit that I had to see this week on TikTok in Texas. Because it was fucking insanity.
Yeah.
And so in the beginning of the week, I got into it with someone on Twitter where they were like, everybody needs to stop joking about what's happening in Texas. Okay, it's not funny. People are dying. And I was like, it's negative 20 and snowing where I am. So yeah, it is a little funny. And they were like, fuck you. And I'm like, fuck you too. And then I had to see these things on TikTok of these people like in their house crying because there's like a waterfall coming through their ceiling. And I saw like 3 different ones of them. And I'm like, holy fuck, dude, that's not funny. That's really stressful.
It's kind of funny.
It's not funny. And I'm not down.
Everything is funny when it's not happening to you.
Sure. That's not funny. I understand what
funny.
you're saying. No. And look, I'm this group Facebook group thing with me, you, and our listener Kayla, and I'm down with this whole, it's never too soon. When people are like, "Whoa, too soon," and people are like, "No, it's never too soon." Like, I understand that it's like tragedy plus time equals comedy. I'm fine with, like,
No.
you can make jokes about like
Tragedy
Lincoln's.
just is comedy.
No. Look, you can make
Yes, it
jokes
is.
about like the Lincoln assassination or Hitler or the fucking Civil War or whatever. It's been long enough. But there's a couple things that I've found it's too fucking soon. And a couple things for me, look, okay, I'm not going to change your mind. You're not going to change my mind. But look, a couple of things for me is when certain music artists pass away. This doesn't have anything really to do with Texas. But when an artist passes away, I feel like you get a day of there's no jokes. It's not funny. And I've unfriended people on Facebook before for fucking saying jokes about when artists pass away, and I'll fucking do it again. I don't care who you are. Sometimes it's not funny. And especially the rapper Mac Miller, when he passed away, when he overdosed. And one of my friends on there that I've known since middle school had to just crack a joke about it. And I was like, dude, fuck you. It's not funny. You don't understand what some things mean to people. I get the whole, it's okay to make jokes about it. But all I'm asking for is 24 hours. So the Texas thing, sure.
You're fucking wrong. You're
No.
making me mad. You're making me upset. Because
24 hours.
If you ever talk to someone that their parent died in fucking 9/11, they would never find it funny, and they would fucking be pissed at you. But you can sit there.
Some of them
and
do.
What?
Some of them make jokes that their dad died in 9/11.
Everyone just has things that they're sensitive about, and
Yeah.
I get it. I get that you're sensitive, but like literally like holding a grudge against someone for that, it's your own problem. If someone makes fun of 9/11 and your mom died in it and it makes you uncomfortable, you need to just like block out what's happening and just like, steer away from the conversation.
I agree.
But same thing.
24 hours.
Someone makes fun of Mac Miller. I would have been there. I would have been the guy making fun of Mac Miller because I don't give a flying fuck about Mac Miller. I don't give a shit about any of those people. Like,
and you're gonna post it. You'd post it on social media? No,
I would post about Kobe 20 minutes after his helicopter crash.
No, you wouldn't.
Absolutely.
You don't post about anything else.
What?
You don't post about anything else.
I know. Okay, I don't.
You wouldn't.
But
post
what
about
I'm saying, like, I would absolutely joke about that. There's no you getting offended is your fucking problem, and like you getting serious, like he fucking posted Brad for Mac Miller died. I take serious offense to that.
Yeah, personally, yeah, I do.
Yourself. That's ridiculous.
Look,
You're the only one.
Yeah.
Okay, what if it was?
No, I'm not the only one.
No, you're not the only. Well, no, there's a bunch of people like you. I think you're all wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's tough because it's like, say, I don't know, someone I don't care about dies and a joke gets made about it. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying personally, dude, 24 hours. It's not that much to ask. You can make 9/11 jokes right now.
It's a slippery slope because then if we all agree
it
to
is
24 hours,
slope.
then it's 24 hours, and then you're going to be in a year or so. You're going to be like, we need 48 hours. I heard a Mac Miller joke, and it was exactly 25 hours after he had died, and I still was upset about it. And then we're okay, Brad. Okay.
Well,
I get your feelings.
Some people,
I get you really liked Mac Miller. I get you really liked him a lot.
Some people would say like,
this is why we have 3 bathrooms now.
No, some people would say like, oh, that person died. You're not allowed to make jokes for the rest of fucking time. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's fair game. I just think there should be 24 hours. I think it's respectful.
Disagree.
Let's say like someone in your family died, and I made a joke about it immediately. You wouldn't like it.
I dare you for the rest of my life. I will bet you. I swear right now. I swear I'm being dead fucking serious. I'm being dead fucking serious. I bet you $1,000. You will never hear me say it. I pick my mom.
Say what?
Pick a joke. Pick a joke for the rest of my life. Pick a fucking joke. Try to make me fucking react how you're reacting right now. You won't. And there's a reason you won't, because I'm not a little bitch. And if my mom died, I'd be extremely upset. But if you made a joke, I wouldn't hold it against you. At all. There's no fucking way. There's no goddamn way.
That's tough. That's tough.
No, I know. And everyone should be that way. And I think if you aren't that way, you're a little bitch. You're a little bitch, and your feelings, you're just... 100 years ago, this wouldn't have been a fucking conversation at all. You know what I mean? Like, well, maybe it would have been. But either way, I'm a strong believer on comedy, and
I know
it's the best jokes come out. I was on a job site once. It was the best goddamn joke I've ever heard in my fucking life. And we were working next to all these electricians. There's all these electricians in this room. They didn't like the dude I was working for, like my foreman type person that I was working for. And it's just me and him in this room doing pipe work. And all these electricians, and we'd been working with them for months and months, and they hated this dude, and I just didn't really say anything. I just like would do what this guy would say. But I loved the dude I was working with. He had the best sense of humor I've ever heard in my life. And fucking, you remember like 5 years ago when there was the shooting in Florida? In Florida, where it was a gay club or whatever.
Pulse or something.
Next day after that had happened, fucking one of the electricians had been gone for like 4 days, and they're all standing there talking with each other. They're like 15 feet away from us, and fucking they're like, where did fucking blah 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 go? One of the electricians, and they're like, I don't know. And this dude chimes in, he's like, I heard he was going fucking clubbing down in Florida, and fucking I fucking died laughing. It was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And it hadn't been 24 hours.
But I don't really care. I'm not connected to these
my
people.
God. You're such a fucking hypocrite. I'll stand by it for the rest of my life. I will be the other thing. I'll unfriend you if you're that person. So it looks like I'm getting on right after this episode, and you're unfriended, Brad.
Okay.
See you later.
You don't post anything anyway. It's not like I'm going to be missing out. But isn't the rule supposed to be the jokes are okay if they're good jokes? Because it's like, can you tell a rape joke? It's like, yeah, you can, but it should be a good. Joke? It should be a good one. It should be a good, smart joke about something, not a bad shitty one, then you're just like, oh, that wasn't even good. If you're gonna push the line,
Okay,
make it good.
I'll argue a little bit. I get what you're saying, and I do
That should be
agree
the
with that.
rule.
But sometimes the joke lies within the shock factor. So the funniness of the joke can be decreased by how hard you're punching someone. Because if you like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like a dead baby joke. The joke
Yeah,
isn't funny at all in itself.
yeah,
It becomes funnier the more reaction you get out of the joke.
right.
It's
I
the science
understand.
of comedy. It's the science of comedy. I'm holding
Hey,
lectures. I got a TED Talk next week.
oh God, yeah. It's look, just personally for me, I got lines in places, and the
Okay.
Texas thing. That's what I was trying to loop it back to. I don't know. Those people got fucked up, and I just wanted to blame it on someone, a governor or a president, like they did in New Orleans when they fucking sat on their asses and didn't help those people. They did that to Texas people. Because then I was seeing posts of friends of mine who are in Texas being like, yeah, there's no food and there's no water. Like, we haven't had food or water in a fucking 2 days now. Like, we're fucked. And it's like, okay, someone needs to be held responsible. We're your shitty power grid and shitty water system down there. Because you never had to deal with snow before. I don't know. It was a crazy, crazy couple of things to see.
I don't get how'd they run out of water?
I think it froze. I think the whole fucking pipeline of water froze.
Because I've worked on a lot of water systems, and there's a lot of thought that goes into how water systems work.
It
And
must just be shitty old
there's a lot of
infrastructure.
backups on backups. Because anything here in Portland and Vancouver, what I've seen is like, and I've argued people that talk about like when zombies hit and shit like that, the chain of events that would happen. And I'm like, actually, you don't understand how water systems work. Because like I built one in Vancouver, pump station for Vancouver. They have a fucking fuel tank that runs the generator that runs the pumps. The fuel tank itself is twice the size as a semi truck trailer, a Connex. Just a fuel tank,
Hmm.
full of fucking diesel fuel that runs a generator that the motor's the size of my goddamn truck. It's huge. The fan
Hmm.
for the motor is like 8 feet tall, and it's just this huge Cummins motor that sits on top of this gigantic fucking fuel tank. And its job is to keep if power shuts off to everything, that shit kicks on. And that giant fucking tank. And that's how almost everything is set up. So what doesn't make sense to me is if all this shit kicks out, like your water system, all they got to do is make sure there's fuel in these systems. That tank alone is like, you have time. It's like you have plenty of time. You have plenty of. I just don't get it. So first off, you'd have days where pumps are still going to be working, sending water through. So I don't understand. Their infrastructure must be fucked. Like there must be someone to blame because I know water
Yeah.
around me there's a lot of thought process that goes into it. There's like fail safe on fail safe on fail safe.
Yeah, I don't know why they did, but they did. You know,
Okay.
it's fucking weird.
Um, I got my sportsman's package. Did I tell you that last week?
Yeah.
Did I say that last week?
I think you said it 2 weeks ago.
Oh, did I?
Maybe
Oh,
yeah, you said it 2 weeks ago.
I'm an asshole. Well, I'm all excited. I'm all excited about that. I'm just all fucking giddy about fucking killing a bear. Oh, but we did win our tags. Oregon's fucking weird because they're crazy about their zones. And all like the good places to go hunting, you have to like draw tags. I didn't know anything about this, but there's like a whole point
Yeah.
system here in Oregon to where you draw for like these specific areas. And the better the area, the like more points you have to have. And the way you get points is by getting denied an area and then you get a point for next year.
Oh,
And then
weird.
supposedly I think you can like even sell your points. And so there's like certain hunting places here where you have to have like 6 points saved up to get
Uh-huh.
awarded this place to go hunting. But anyways, we won ours, which is I guess a decent place to go. I don't know. I don't really know the
Huh.
areas that well. But the guy that did the group, we were like in a group that applied for this tag, and fucking, he's like, yeah, we won. So I'm excited. Bought my rifle. Still waiting on a list. Waiting for my rifle. Still
Jesus.
waiting. Bought a
Well, you're
Tika
gonna kill a
7.
bear?
I'm going if I want to kill a bear. That's the plan.
And then
I gotta,
you're gonna cut it up.
yeah, do the
Oh
whole
shit.
goddamn thing. I'm gonna have a nice little bear rug sitting in the living room. Fucking all about it, son.
Oh my god.
All about it.
And then
Fucking
you
yeah,
make like
Batikas.
jerky.
I haven't planned that far. I've planned
Okay.
on. I know I gotta buy a fucking deep freezer. That's gotta happen.
Yeah.
And
Or is
I'm
it? I
getting
don't
all
know.
my.
Like, do you get like
Huh?
burgers or jerky or
I've
what do you
heard.
get from bear?
I've never had black bear before. I've heard that it's fucking delicious.
Sure.
A lot of people say it's fucking amazing, like really good. So
Yeah.
if it's that good, I don't know why I'd make jerky out of it. Like,
Oh, good point. Good point.
I
But do
don't
you
know.
make like burgers? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I got more.
Yeah.
I got more planning and shit to do. So it's April
Yeah.
1st. The season starts. Shit out of me. I changed my goddamn. Oh my god! I got a new phone. Oh my
I thought
god!
that was a real cat.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's a real cat too. I changed my fucking
Jesus
ringtone
Christ.
earlier. Earlier, I just changed it. I just got a phone today, and I was going through. Just going setting up the phone, everything, you know.
Is it
And I
an
was like, oh,
iPhone?
let's do ringtone. No, it's the
Oh.
same. It's the S21, the new Samsung.
Jeez.
But anyways, I set a cat meow for my deal, and I'd forgotten all about it. And my phone is in my room charging, and the volume's all the way up. And I'm on the couch with the girl, and we're sitting here on the couch, and I hear a meow, and I think it's my cat, and I'm like, and then I start meow. I'm like meow,
Oh my god.
meow, and then I like realize that it's the phone, and yeah, it was a pretty funny fucking moment. She's like, you thought that was the fucking cat, like. Yeah, and right there, that just scared the shit out of me. It sounded like a cat was in my ear.
Yeah, I thought it was a real cat. Well, that's
Oh,
cool. You can
well,
kill a
I
bear.
got. Yeah, you sound fucking excited about it. Sorry that I get excited about something other than fucking waiting on jokes and shit like that.
You should send me bear meat.
Oh, why don't you just go get a bear? Why don't you go get a rifle and a hunting tag and go
A
kill
bear in North Dakota. What
Is
the
there no-
fuck?
Is there no bears over there?
I don't
fucking
think
know.
there's bears here. No.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Is there buffalo? You guys got something over there, don't you? I mean,
There's a lot of
they're
deer.
wild. Is there wild buffalo in the? Or is that all done?
I don't know.
I know there's wild buffalo in Yellowstone. Is that like the only place that has wild buffalo?
Probably.
Wasn't there? Isn't North Dakota like back in the day? Isn't that like where buffalo would have been? Like
Probably.
in the plains area.
Yeah, you'd think so. I've never seen one.
Okay. I don't know. Just
I don't
fucking
know
shooting
either.
in the dark. Okay, so we got I was gonna bring up the phone later on, but we'll bring up the phone
Okay.
now since I brought it up. But
Okay.
I know I've went on a rant in this show about how much I fucking hate iPhones,
Uh-huh.
but now I'm fucking pissed at fucking Samsung.
Oh,
because-
god damn it.
These motherfuckers don't have a goddamn aux port on the new phones. I didn't realize that till I got home. And was
Really?
like, wait, where's the fuck? You motherfuckers did it. So now everyone's doing it. Just fucking douching the fucking aux port. I'm
Are
fucking
you saying
pissed.
when I turn my phone in finally, then it'll be no more aux port for me?
Well, the S21, no aux port.
Son of a
And when
bitch.
you buy, they're getting dumber and dumber. And when you buy your phone, they give you one cord. So the one good thing is they didn't change the cord because they changed
That's
it on the
good.
S9. You know, it was a new style. So it's the same style as the S9, but now they just give you a cord that has like, I don't know what you call this input for a Samsung. I don't know if it
Uh-huh.
has a name. But all they give you in the box is phone, cord that has the same end on both ends. So you got to
Really?
buy a block. Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
go buy a special block. You can't there's no other it just makes me so mad. Once I was like I should have just fucking gotten LG or some shit like that. Fuck this. Fuck these companies and their bullshit.
They lost you. That's fucked.
Well, I mean, I'm stuck with it now.
Yeah, you are stuck with it now.
I mean, I got 3 cameras, so that's pretty cool.
That is fucking cool.
Yeah, it does take
I
good pictures.
I still when I like mow the lawn, I listen to headphones and they're like wired headphones. I get that I'm living in the
So
past.
now you got to go buy a stupid fucking cord, which now I have to go buy one. That's that input with a female aux on it, which just fucking pisses me off.
That
You ever
plugs
seen
into
people
where
with
you plug the power in?
You've never seen people with iPhones do that? A bunch of people do it.
Okay, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm
Jesus.
assuming they have that. They fucking better have that because both my fucking cars don't have Bluetooth. So
Oh
you can
my
go
god.
fuck yourself. I'm not buying a new
Ah,
fucking deck just for the phone. That's not happening.
damn. We're both living in the past. It's hard to convert over.
I
Fucking
disagree with it. I strongly disagree with it. Coming from a musician, like a musician side, like using mixers and shit like that, a phone should be able to wire into your fucking mixer. That's
yeah,
stupid to do with Bluetooth.
that's a good
No.
point.
Yeah. They're which I guess is a very small percentage of people that are thinking that way, but it
Right.
really irritates me. Really fucking irritates me.
Fucking Bluetooth.
But they're trying to do that with mixers now. There's mixers that like
Like have no ports.
well no there's these mixers that have ports and they have zero buttons, gauges, nothing on them. It's just a box with a bunch
Oh,
of inputs on the back, and then you Bluetooth your phone or an iPad to the mixer, and then
uh-huh.
it's just a digital layout of your deal so that you can like, which I do think is cool, and I can do that with my mixer. And I've thought about kind of doing it. Is you
Hmm.
can just transfer it all to an iPad, and then you can walk around and like fuck with sound over here, fuck with sound over there.
DJ.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm. Um, names? Have we talked about names? Yeah,
For
I
your
don't know if
baby?
this is. Yeah, have we talked about this?
Do we know the gender of this baby?
Yes, it's a boy.
Really? What the fuck did you figure that out?
I don't know, recently.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
So
Do you?
Bradley is the top pick,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
then we'll work down from that.
Yeah, I like. We've pretty much settled on Atticus,
Oh yeah, Atticus.
so I did say
Atticus
this.
Beavers.
I'm going with Bondurant, my
Oh,
stepfather's
okay.
name. So
Oh,
Atticus
nice.
Bondurant. But last night I thought of it, and I just thrown this out there. Do you think this is gay or awesome? Because I think it's awesome. So I don't know what you call it, and supposedly I googled it, and they said there is no word for this. There's a word for something similar, like race car. What is that called? Race car spelled the same forwards as backwards.
Yeah. Or kayak.
Um, yeah. God damn it! I should have wrote that down. What the name of that word is? The idea I'm having is similar to that, but it's not the same. So I was just like, oh, what if the middle name was just Atticus spelled backwards, which would be Sukita, which actually is a name when you look it up.
Is it?
Yeah, which now I can't remember what that means. I should have wrote all this fucking down. But
Eh,
I think it's cool. And then
it's
yeah,
not bad. I don't think anyone's like mad at their middle name. You know.
I to me, isn't it like the important thing that it just sounds good? Like the middle name is completely useless except for when you say the entire name, that it like
Yeah.
flows through the name correctly, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole importance of it? To me, it's like you got to think about like if you wrote a book or if you're a famous person. You know what I mean? Your full name needs to sound awesome. Some famous people's like whole names are just like, damn, that's good. That's such a good fucking name. You know,
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time thinking of it. Like, I mean,
I'm trying
some
to figure
people's
out.
like what that is, what that's called.
Is it palindrome?
Yeah. That's yes, palindrome. So
Is it?
that's
I didn't
when
even. I'm not even fucking finding it. That's just what's the only word in my mind right now.
yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
But there is no word for what I'm saying. Just a word that's
Right.
spelled backwards,
Right.
like devil and lived or something like that. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Like
And
Evian water is like naive.
Okay. I Evian.
Yeah, like people that drink the water, like Fiji water, but it's
Okay, yeah,
Evian.
yeah. I was just doing
Yeah,
it
yeah,
in my
yeah.
head. I was like spelling it out like, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, that's fine with me.
Do you think it's cool or is it dumb? Or is that like one of those things people like are like, oh, your parents are fucking douchebags?
No, people, your parents are douchebags if they name you like Rainbow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Atticus is not a bad name. That's a good name.
I think it's
Atticus
a great name.
Sakit. What is it? Sakit?
Well, the girl does not like this at all.
Oh.
uh, Atticus Sakita Bondurant.
Oh, okay. Well, if she doesn't like it, I don't know how far you're going to get.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get anywhere, but I thought it was kind of a cool idea.
Oh, okay.
The daughter started joining in because we're having a whole conversation, and she's obviously listening to it, and then
Yeah.
she wants to throw names in. So her name was Atticus Bruno the Chicken Bondurant.
Oh, my God.
It's like name him Bruno the Chicken,
Oh,
which I thought was funny.
that's tough, dude. When I tried to pick a name for my dog, it took weeks of thinking. Deep,
One night,
deep thinking.
one night it turned into a pretty good argument.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but that's how it goes. You know what I mean?
Name and Cash. That's a great fucking name.
No, his name Atticus is this is on it, and we really were thinking we want to go with a J middle name for AJ if Atticus
Oh, yeah.
becomes a non thing, and I like the name AJ, but
Yeah,
I really like
that's
Atticus.
smart. Yeah.
And then we were at last night. It started getting into the middle name too, almost being another first name. So if it doesn't like AJ, doesn't like Atticus, it can go by a middle name. So then it was like Jackson, Joseph, names like that.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the AJ idea.
Yeah.
I mean, the other idea is cool. I don't know. I don't like my middle name. It's stupid.
What is it?
Douglas.
Douglas? Brad Douglas?
Yeah, but it's like no one
Bradley
really.
Douglas? What is your first name like? Is it Bradley? Is that what
Yeah.
it is on your birth certificate? Bradley Douglas. That's a good name. Bradley
It's
Douglas.
okay.
Did your parents do that? Like when you were in trouble? Like Bradley Douglas?
Maybe sometimes, yeah.
You don't remember it?
No, it was just I never got in trouble that much. It was just my grandpa's middle name, so it's just like that's where it came
Family
from.
thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, but I don't think anybody really cares about the middle name. Meanwhile, their parents are fucking having screaming matches about it 4 months before they're born. Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
You know what I hate more than anything? Like really gets my tail feathers ruffled up?
Taxes.
People who can't take jokes. No.
Oh, fuck.
No. People, dude. So you know this because you have put stuff on YouTube and you've really dug into YouTube and you know how it kind of works.
Okay.
Have you ever put a song on, like get on YouTube and like click, 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 click song and you like
No.
play it on YouTube and then
Yeah.
it gets a quarter of the way through the song and a fucking ad comes on?
Really?
Yeah. It's very
That's
prevalent.
stupid.
It's very prevalent when you listen to albums. People will have full albums on there.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah.
and you'll be halfway through a fucking song and a fucking commercial will kick off and it's like, you piece of shit. You fucking and so if you guys don't know this as people who don't do YouTube shit and you don't know how this works, is all that monetization stuff that comes from the person posting the video. They're the ones that set that shit.
Yeah.
They push how much monetization is on their shit. You could set it to 0 and there'd be 0 commercials on that YouTube video. So whenever you're mad at commercials, blame the person that's posting the video. I'm serious. It makes me mad. There's like multiple people that like, if I see a commercial on a lot of YouTube videos, I'll fucking can't, like if it's overwhelming, I'm out. Or if like when you start, you'll see the the line, and you'll see the little yellow mark and a little yellow mark and a little yellow mark and a little yellow mark, and I'm like, this piece of shit thinks he's real fucking cool and that his shit is worth that much money that he's gonna put 6 advertisements in a 10-minute video. Like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I said this to someone the other day, and then I didn't know if I was actually correct about this. Well, and now it's not a thing, right? Because Joe Rogan's no longer on YouTube, correct? Like, he's done with YouTube. But I was like, I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan didn't monetize on YouTube, and if he did, he only did the beginning of a video. He would have an hour-long thing, and you wouldn't get commercials in it.
Well, the thing is, the whole idea is that, no, he didn't have commercials, I don't think. But the whole thing is that once you hit a certain number of subscribers, you get money just by posting.
But you got to have monetization on it.
No,
which is,
I don't think so.
Well, someone's paying the bill.
Well, maybe you have to have monetization on. I thought once you hit a certain number of subscribers, like 100,000, then you just, maybe that's when you like get the opportunity or something. I don't know.
No,
maybe you.
We've already.
I don't remember ads.
We've already gone through this. You get incorporated. There's a word for it. You get incorporated into YouTube at 1,000. You got to have 1,000 subscribers.
Okay.
And then you can start monetizing your videos and getting paid for it. I don't know what 100,000 gets you. I think you get a plaque when you get 100,000. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, either way, I guess don't know exactly how that shit works. But I know that the more there's monetization, more commercials that are on a video, it's the producer's fault. It's not it's not YouTube's fault. It's them. It's that video. And I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan did very little monetization on YouTube, which I get. He doesn't need the money, but it's very respectable of him because he could have made a lot of more money by doing that. I guarantee he could have tripled the amount of money he was getting off YouTube by putting the monetization on him. And you know what? Props to you. If I'm correct, and I think I am correct, is that when your shit on YouTube is like maybe one commercial at the beginning of the episode. And same with his podcast, is because everyone in podcast world, like a year ago, switched over to where there's like advertisements now on, like, you know what I'm saying. I don't know if you guys watch much podcast, but now people all record their advertisements, and they're like, and then they throw them into the podcast.
Yeah.
It's not like they're in the podcast and they switch it and they're like, hey, now we're going to read a deal, and they read it. No. They record all that shit at a different time, and then it's like, I don't know how that works. I've been wondering how that works. Like, are they in a program to where they like input all their fucking advertisements in, and then they like mark off when they're allowing their advertisements to come in? But either way, good on Joe Rogan too for doing all his advertisements up front and not giving in to that. Because I know advertisers probably push that. They're like, we want you to be in the middle of an episode when this happens. So it like forces people to stay. And I guarantee, I just know that this happened. Joe Rogan's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not ruining a conversation or ruining the way this is going to go by having an ad in the middle. Because it does. It fucking ruins it. And you get a fucking song. I was listening to the Eagles the other day, and we're halfway through an Eagles song, and fucking commercial comes on. Just like, you motherfucker. If I could find the son of a bitch that would monetize in the middle of a song, like, you were the lowest of low. If you're listening right now and you run a YouTube channel and you're doing that shit, fucking kill yourself. I guess you can't say that. We can't say stuff like that. Get our shit banned off fucking Pandora. We're on Pandora now, by the way.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Took 6 months, but we're on YouTube.
Took
Pandora.
longer than that, I think. Fucking what a shitty company. Yeah, that's right. I said it on Pandora. I said it. Yeah, I forgot we're on Pandora now. I gotta write that down because I have a thing I was gonna do. I think it probably all just comes from the old school radio idea of play 4 songs and go to commercial. So that's why that's why they still are like, let's fucking just chop some commercials into these videos. Maybe that's the best way to do it for an advertising fucking
point
of view.
If you let's say let's say we have fucking $10,000 and we're going to run an advertising campaign and we
Yeah.
have our input. And let's say we go to Joe Rogan and we're like, we'll give you $10,000 to talk about our shit on your show or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we get to sit and think about it and sit down with an advertising specialist and like what all do we get to manipulate? Okay, we get to manipulate what he says. Okay, let's write a script out for him to talk, which they're already doing. And then I guarantee they say that too, like, hey, we want to be in the middle of the episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll pay you an extra 20% to be in the middle of the episode. Guarantee that happens. Like timing stipulations and shit like that.
Yeah.
Guarantee that happens.
It's so dumb. But then I think there's times when I click on something and I'm clicking on like a 30-second video that I want to see, and then it starts. Sometimes you get the 5-second ad that counts down from 5 to 0, then you get to hit skip ad, and then other times it's like a 15-second ad that you don't get to skip, and you have to watch the whole thing, and then I'm just like, close. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth to see this car drive off a cliff. Just fucking, I can't watch it.
Yeah. No, I find myself doing the same fucking thing. And that's another ploy too. I guarantee that was a company paid YouTube more money so that you couldn't cancel their video. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to pay you an extra 30% that the skip ad doesn't come up.
Dude, I remember the YouTube with no ads. I remember it.
I know, dude. Wasn't it amazing?
It was
so
amazing.
It was the best thing ever. And YouTube itself was better back then. There was just a genuine...
It was less commercial. Less corporate.
Yeah, it was just this feeling about it. It was like, it's beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. It is nice. It is nice now having that. Now it's so flooded with information that you can find anything you want on YouTube. Because back when there was no commercials, people weren't you couldn't type in 1987 fuel filter, blah, blah, blah. How do I replace this? You know? Now,
it was just like
literally,
street fights and music.
Yeah. But it is pretty cool when you like are working on a car and you don't understand how to do something and you just type it in and bam,
that's nice.
There it is. And you don't have to read it and like, wait, what do they mean? Like, I don't know what a fucking rotator splint is, what are they talking about? And you get a dude on a video like, see this thing here? Yeah, that thing. Move that over here, flipped it, bam, works. And you're like, damn shit, that's easy. Got it.
I wonder if they could just have like a tipping system.
Like
instead of
on videos?
Ads. Yeah. But people are too stingy for that. Like say
somewhat, but then
say you watch a video and the guy's like, this is a rotator splint or whatever, and you're lying under your car and you're like, oh fucking thank you, and you're like 10 cents to him. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
Twitch does that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, that's not a fucking new idea. That's being practiced.
Right. Yeah. Cam girls and Twitch.
Yeah. What is can you explain Patreon? Because I don't really know what that is.
Yeah. So it's like, say you're a band or you're a podcast or you're a cam girl, you can like create a Patreon page for yourself, and is
Patreon like a website? What is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a website, and it's like a Facebook, but you have to pay to follow somebody. Kind of like OnlyFans, but then there's like tiers also. So you have like. It's like, say there's a podcast that I used to follow on there. They have like the $1 a month tier, the $5 a month tier, the $20 a month tier, and like the $50 a month tier. So you can pick which one you want. I just want the $1. So then you subscribe for $1 a month to their Patreon, and you get whatever content they're releasing, whether it's full episodes of the podcast. And then if you do like the $50 one, then it'll be like, we'll give you a shout out on the show, we'll give you a t-shirt, you'll get 20% off of our merch for the rest of your life, and you'll get more things for subscribing to that larger tier level. So I listened to a podcast. They went a long time with no advertising. They went years and years and years with no advertising, and they were at a crossroads. They're like, do we put ads on the show, or do we make our podcast on Patreon, and that's the only place you can get it now? So then they went that route, and they said, okay, we're on Patreon now. If you want full episodes, it's you do $5 a month, and it's still ad free. So you can see on there too how much money they get a month, and this show was up to like 10 or like 15 grand. They had that many people signed up, so then they're doing their show and they're just making 15 grand a month off of everyone who's signed up to their Patreon. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It'd be good for like a band or a podcast or just
I
anybody.
know a lot of people are doing it, and I kind of had a vague idea of what it was. Like, I thought it was like that. I didn't know if you could, like, tip, like you're saying on that. I like that whatever podcast you were just talking about, that's pretty badass. But it irritates, like I listen to a lot of Ben Shapiro. I don't know if you, I haven't in a while, but.
Because it's like, would you rather pay $1 a month to listen to this show ad-free, or would you rather listen to it free with ads?
So that's a dope thing. But I get irritated a little bit with podcast or, like, Ben Shapiro does it. I don't think he does it on Patreon. But, like, first off, he advertises. Then he does his show. But then you have to subscribe. Then you have to pay to get more of the show. It's really frustrating to me because it's like I get to the point I listen to an episode and it almost makes me like want to go fuck yourself. You're a piece of shit. You know that?
Yeah.
Like you're squeezing every dollar out of this you possibly can. I don't like this. Like I don't know. You're putting advertisements in, you're getting paid. I get a lot of people would argue. They're like, look, dude, I got to fucking keep the lights on. You know what I mean? And I know something like Ben Shapiro, I know he has like a staff, like a full on staff that works for him and like is constantly grinding, finding stories and making YouTube videos and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's still very frustrating. It's just like, God damn it, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Props to Joe. I think Joe has always had the best. Like, there's a reason his podcast is the biggest. I mean, other than him being a really good interviewer and, like, keeping conversation going at a good pace. But his, like, stance on that shit about, like, never selling out, never letting advertisers run the show. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess you could talk about Spotify. But either way, I loved how he always did the shit at the beginning. His YouTube videos were always, from what I can remember, always ad-free. It was just like he didn't want to compromise. Like, the conversation.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd love a sponsor.
I would love a sponsor too, and I'd be all about it. I'd sell it in a heartbeat. I'd fucking love. But I wouldn't though. Like fuck that. I would though. I would do the commercials at the beginning.
Yeah.
If we got enough of a following, I would like to think I had enough of a backbone that because that irritates me so much, I'd be like, look, I'll do commercials at the beginning. I'm not fucking ruining, you know what I mean? I'm not doing that shit because it irritates me so much. There's no way I'm going to do it. Yeah. And I would do advertisements on the show just like podcasts do, but I'd want to do it the same way Joe does it. Just throw it all at the beginning. We'll do it all at the beginning. Get it out of the way. So that way, a bunch of people are going to skip it. Yeah. It's just the way it's going to be. You know, a bunch of people are going to skip it.
Yeah, it's your choice. No one's forcing you to take fucking advertising. It's your choice.
Yeah. So there's that.
I remembered that I do have a doctor here that I haven't seen in like almost 3 years now, but I've seen him a few times. He's Jamaican. It's kind of hard to understand sometimes, but I went to visit him this week. Just got some tests done and stuff like that, but it was just like, oh yeah, I remember that I have a Jamaican doctor here in fucking North Dakota. Good guy, I think. It's kind of hard to understand.
Are you being serious?
What? Yeah.
Is he black? I'm assuming.
Yeah. He's from Jamaica. He was born in Jamaica.
Guy. Yeah, he could be a white guy that was born in Jamaica.
No.
Oh, come on. That's like saying there's no white people in Africa. Get out of here.
He's a black gentleman who's born in Jamaica.
And he talks very thick?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know how he ended up here. Probably just like me. Just fucking stumbled across it.
That's pretty
But
cool.
It was like they took blood and urine from me, from my body. And I like having tests done on me. I do enjoy it. Like I've done a full
Like
physical.
the peace of mind.
Yeah, it's all peace of mind. That's what I'm talking about. It's all peace of mind. Because sometimes I'll just be sitting around and be like, I wonder if I have cancer and I just don't know about it, and just think about things like that. But it's
Yeah.
like I've done the full physical before, where they do like an EKG on me, like they put wires on you and like look at your heart and do like the breathing tests and like blood and urine and check your
Damn, bro.
lungs. Yeah, and do like and X-rays and stuff, and then they've came back and been like everything's good. And it's like, oh sweet. But I do like going through all the testing. I don't know. I don't know why. It's not fun to give blood, but it's like, because I've never given blood for like a donation before. I know like most people have. I've never done it, but it's like, I'll give the doctor my blood in a second and be like, test that shit. Let me know. You call me, you let me know what everything looks like. And we talked about migraines and headaches. I don't mind. Like, I hate a waiting room. Like, don't get me wrong. I hate a waiting room. I hate all that bullshit. But I don't mind the whole testing being done and talking about, you got any other issues? Oh, my back hurts and all this other stuff. It's a good time.
Huh.
Peace of mind.
They must,
Peace of mind.
That sounds like my
Nightmare?
doctor's experience never go that way. I always feel like I'm getting rushed out the door. Like, we don't want it.
Oh.
We're done. We're done here. Get the fuck out of here. Go and get. Like, so when I went in for the finger, you know, they did what they normally do. You know, whenever you go to a hospital or anything, urgent care, you know, they take your blood pressure and they blah, 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 do all that shit. So I just assume. I've never paid attention to the numbers. They always say your numbers or sometimes, you know, they're like 80 over 120, whatever the fuck those not. And I never knew what they meant. I was like, okay. And I've always assumed, I would always assume, like, if there's something wrong, they would say something. They're going to be like, oh, it's 80 over 20. That's actually getting a little scary. Have you ever talked to anybody about your blood pressure? No, so never said anything about that. So anyways, I get all this paperwork when I leave the hospital. And it has like my fucking x-ray for my finger. And it has, but has all the vitals that they took when I was in there. And then I'm going through the vitals, and I'm like, I read what it is, and now I forgot the numbers because I've never been able to memorize what's good and what's bad with your blood pressure. Yeah. And I decide to look it up. I'm like, well, let's look this up. And I was like, is 84 over 124 or whatever, is that bad? And they're like, yeah, that's, and it was not good. They're like, that's fucking hypertension. That's stage 1 hypertension. And I was like, what? And they're like, and like what I'm reading online is like, yeah, you should probably, you know, start talking to a doctor about that. It's not severe, but you're on your way to having blood pressure issues, like having it stage 1 or something like that. And I'm like, how am I 31 and no one's ever, and how come they didn't just tell me that? How come the hospital didn't just give me like a hint, like, hey, your blood pressure is a little high. You know, maybe you should think about that. I was like, what the fuck? The fuck is going on around here?
They don't even need to say it. They always read it out loud. Oh, it's 80 over, and why even reading it?
Did they just assume?
Why are you even reading it?
Maybe they just assume that everyone knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was pretty upset by it.
Look, in my experience, they've always told me whether it was good or bad. And when I go to the dentist now, they do it whenever I go to the dentist, and they tell me too.
Well, from the numbers I looked up when I was in there, and then I didn't know, though. I was like, maybe being in, I don't know, maybe the circumstance, being up all night, broken finger, maybe it's increasing my blood pressure, you know what I mean? And they're just kind of assuming that it is. So they're like, it's not, you know, he's probably just a little wound up right now.
Right.
Not. I don't know. But I could be right. I'm not a fucking doctor. I don't know. But I know I looked up those numbers and they said like stage 1 hypertension or something like that. Level 1 hypertension.
I was actually going in, I made the appointment to get more blood pressure meds. So that's what I was there for. But then he was just like, we went over the blood pressure stuff. He's like, boom, you're getting the prescription over here, whatever. He's like, is there anything else that you want to talk about? And I know he was saying that to me because he's like, look, I got other shit to do. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Like, don't make another appointment in a couple weeks. Just do this right here, right now. I'm like, oh, okay. There is something, these migraines that, I haven't had one in like a year, but I get these really fucking terrible, scary fucking migraines and stuff like that. And we went over that. He's like, boom, I'll give you a prescription for that too. I'm like, oh, perfect. Thank you. And I know he was just kind of saying, like, this is it. Like, let's get everything out on the table right now and then come see me again in 2 years or whatever. I don't know. I don't mind going to the good old doctor.
I get it. I feel like we've talked about this, but the last time I went to a doctor, yeah, like it had the little sign that said keep it down to 2 topics per this.
Oh my
and
god.
He wasted half the fucking time telling a joke. And it was a really inappropriate joke for someone he just met 3 minutes ago.
How is there such thing as an inappropriate joke? There's no such thing as an inappropriate joke.
It didn't offend me at all. I was just very shocked that a Portland doctor would tell a joke like he did 3 minutes after meeting someone. I was like, he must have really done some judgments on my tattoos and shit. You know what I mean? And then I said I was a construction worker, that he's like, oh, I can tell him a dirty joke. Like he's not going to get mad about it.
Right. I remember going to a doctor a long time ago, and they were like asking me questions like, do you smoke? Do you do what? How many hours of sleep do you get? And they're like, do you drink to get drunk? And I was like 21, and I was like, what kind of question is that? Like, yeah, I drink to get drunk, don't you? It was a weird question.
Yeah, it probably makes more sense as you're older now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because I mean, I still drink to get drunk, but half the time I'm not drinking to get drunk. I have a beer every night, and I at least have 2 beers every night. And like last night, I was not drinking to get drunk. I was drinking to enjoy that beer on the couch.
Sure.
And that was it. There was no needing to get inebriated. That beer tasted good. We're talking about beer now, and my mouth is watering because now I'm like, beer tastes fucking. That would just. I'm ready to pause the show and go get a goddamn beer. That's how goddamn good it sounds right now. It's fucking 3:00. Ooh.
Yeah. It's 3:00 somewhere. That's what I always say.
At 4.
4:10. Oh, so Lent started. I know you're not a big whole
Catholic thing.
I have no idea what it is. It might be
Lent?
like Islamic or something.
No, I think it's Catholic.
Catholic or Jewish. Lent. It starts on the Wednesday. A couple of Wednesdays ago is like the 17th or something like that, and then it goes, I believe, until Easter. And us Americans, we use it as a period to just give up something in our lives that we love. In the religious sense, it involves fasting, don't eat during the sun when the sun's up and shit like that. But we nowadays just say like, oh, for Lent, I'm not going to eat meat, or I'm not going to smoke weed, or I'm not going to cheat on my wife, or whatever. 2 Lents ago, and I like being...
It says it's Christianity, not fucking Catholicism.
Okay, Christianity, whatever. It's like 2 Lents ago, for Lent, I gave up Facebook, okay? And it was really cool to do that and it's a long time because it's from middle of February to like Easter. So this Lent, and I should have talked about it last week, but I didn't realize that Lent was starting until the day before it started. And then I was like, all right, for this Lent, I'm going to give up gambling.
Yeah.
So no gambling for Brad for Lent. 2021. Okay. And I know you're not into the whole, if you're going to give it up, just give it up. Or are you going to wait for a date? But it's nice to be involved in the things that other people are involved in.
Okay.
Because the gambling was getting a little crazy. Look, and I'm someone who has battled addiction in one way or the other, but I'm also really good at seeing a pattern start when it's starting and being like, oh, this is a pattern of mine. I need to, fucking manage this a little bit. Not let it, it's never gone off the rails with me, addiction. I just am good at recognizing it. Just recently, the gambling got a little ratcheted up a little bit. So I'm like, well, let's just fucking for Lent, no gambling. And then you start thinking about it, and it's like, oh, now that I can't do it, now I want to do it. But I can get through it, Lent, without gambling.
I hear you hacking here, bro. I hear you hacking.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been thinking about some shit you've said recently,
Oh no.
and I'm not going to call you out and ask you like how much money is involved in this, but
It's about
but
crypto?
yeah, this is about crypto, and I'm pretty serious about this, and I want to get your opinion. And I know you know a lot more about it than me, but just from what I've been hearing and then looking at graphs and shit about crypto, I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, this shit's about to do a nosedive. Like that's my prediction. It's just like this is way too crazy. Like no graph looks the way crypto does, it doesn't fucking come back down. And I know I'm not the only person saying that it's a involatile fucking currency. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have said that from day one. Just like this will never be a currency because it's too fucking volatile. It's too all over the fucking place. And then
Uh-huh.
looking at it, and I don't know how much. Again, I'm not. You don't. I'm not even asking you to say this, but it's like I just do some basic math in my head, and I have an idea of how much money you've put into crypto, and I and then I look at the dates and what crypto is worth and what it's worth now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, if someone was in on this at this point for this amount of money, they just made a lot of fucking money. Like,
So let me ask you this, because I was thinking about asking somebody this in my life. So like, what if someone told you I made blank off crypto? What number in there would you say would be a lot of money? Like a
well,
thousand, a
any
thousand
amount of
dollars?
money. Well, any amount of money would be. I mean, but to me, just $1,000 in general doesn't excite me as much anymore as it would have 6 years ago. So if you said a thousand
Sure.
dollars, I'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, that's cool. You made $1,000. I love making $1,000. $1,000 is
Yeah.
great, but a lot of money to me is over 10 grand. Like once you
Fuck.
pass the 10, once you pass the 10 grand mark, now it's like, okay, now if you made an investment that straight up profited 10 grand, that's a fucking great investment. But
Right.
I mean, for me, just doing some basic math, if someone had, let's say, put $10,000 into crypto
Uh huh.
3 years ago, they just made a fucking shitload of money. Like that's a lot of
Sure.
money. Their
Yeah.
profit margin there is ridiculous.
Yeah. If they
So,
didn't
and
sell.
if they just didn't touch it at all for until now, like
Right.
they just would have made a lot of money. So,
Right.
anyways, this is what I'm getting at, and I started looking at it today, and this is my plan, and I feel like I got to jump on it fast. Is and from what I've read, and I don't know much about crypto. I don't get it. I get the idea. I get what people have talked about, but I've never bought any of it. I've
Mm-hmm.
never done any of that. Fucking. But from what I've read, I googled it. I was like, "Can you short crypto?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, you can absolutely short crypto."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, that's my plan. It's like I'm fucking shorting crypto, but there's no way this lasts. Like this is crazy. This is crazy what's going on right now."
I
And
wouldn't
then so
recommend that at all. I think that's a terrible idea.
you think it's gonna just keep going up?
Of course not. Well, who knows? What we're in right now is called a bull run. Okay, it's when everything's going up.
Yeah. And you
So
hit that peak and you short it, and it all starts going down. You just made a lot of fucking money.
yeah, a lot of fucking money. So bull runs are similar to previous bull runs. So you can take the bull run you're in right now, look at the previous bull run, and you can see what's going to happen now. So if you do that, we still have months and months left of this. It's going to hit 100 grand. Bitcoin could hit 100 grand before it's going to hit 10 grand. So there, I would not.
Someone's gonna short it, and someone's gonna make a lot of money. Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I mean, look, when it hit 50 grand, people probably would have shorted it, and now it's like 57. Or when it hit 40,
When did it hit 50?
I think 2 days ago.
Well, isn't a short like last a month?
Yeah, it's and now it's at 56. Yeah, there's there's like a set
If you
time on
shorted
short.
it now, and you're betting in a month, ain't gonna be worth 57. Gonna go down to fucking 30.
No,
Made a lot of fucking money.
well, yeah, if it did that, I don't think it'll do that.
Well, I'm I think I'm gonna try to get some money together and do this. But the problem is,
So
I don't.
what
I'm betting against it.
what happens after a bull run is called a correction, which means like say you start at 0 and you go to 10. Then what's going to happen is you're going to go to 4, right? And that's a healthy correction. That's what you want to happen. You don't want it to just keep going up and up and up. You want it to correct, because then when it corrects to 4, now it's not going to go lower than 4. And it's going to go along that for a little while, and then it's going to go to 15. And then it's going to go to 7. You know what I mean? It's going to keep correcting down to a lower point, and that's healthy. That shows that it's a healthy market, like the stock market or crypto market. That's what you want to happen. So you're like, I'm not. It can't just keep going forever. It's like, well, yeah, we don't want it to keep going forever. We want it to correct, but you want it to correct and then reach all time high, and then correct and reach all time high, and that's ideal. Look, I've known people that lost a shitload of money shorting fucking crypto. It's a bad idea, but if you want to do it, you can do it. It's just I wouldn't do it. My game plan, like there's people who do like the shorts and the longs and the flips, and I'm going to sell here, and then when it drops I'm going to rebuy. My system is just never selling and just fucking holding on forever. And
Yeah,
but
I
it
think
has
you're wrong. You just look at the graphs on this shit. It's like, dude, it's being way too overvalued right now. Way too overvalued. Twice as much as it should be.
I disagree.
You think it? Where do you think it should correct
To?
itself out? 40,000?
No. Probably above 20.
Yeah, which is half of what it is right now.
Right. But okay, the problem is we could still have months left of this, so we could stop at like 80,000 and then correct to like a 30. And then wait a little while, and then it goes up again. Pew. You want it to do that.
I'm going to try my hardest to figure out how to do this. There's going to be some post-show shit that I need to ask you some more crypto questions, like, because I don't understand. I just look shit up, and it's like websites are telling me go to this app or go to this app and go to this app, and I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah. It's called margin trading. That's what shorting is called. So you want a site where you can do margin trading. I would never do it. I think that's not a good idea. But I just want to be on record saying that.
I want to be on record saying I think this is a great idea. What's the date today? Today
20th.
is February 20th. Great idea.
Dude.
So give me. Hopefully this all doesn't come crashing down in the next few weeks when I can try to make this happen. I'm shorting this shit, and we can come back to this conversation, and you're gonna be crying a little river and be like, "Fuck, my crypto isn't worth as much as I thought it was," and be like, "Yeah, dog," and my short worked out perfectly.
Yeah, as long as I've been in it, it's easier for me to lose money, I think, than it is to make it. Like, as far as comfortability wise, I'm now at a point where it's kind of makes me nervous just thinking about it. Now that I know how to pay taxes on it, there's more freedom in just I can just sell whenever I want, but it's like it's reached a number that I'm not comfortable with. And I get that it's a good problem to have, right?
That is a great problem to have. That's
but
crazy good problem to have.
Yeah, so
well, if you would rather lose it, then why don't you fucking take 25% of that and short the current and short it? And then if you lose the 25%, you lost 25%. If you win, you just fucking doubled your money.
If you win. Yeah. No.
Nope.
We'll see 100K.
You're retarded. You're all high.
Nope. People thought I was high when I was telling them to buy at 20, and nobody listened to me.
Okay.
You could have doubled your money.
Everyone's just all fucking excited right now because Elon Musk bought a bunch of it, and a bunch of people are investing in it, and it's like, okay, whoa.
It's FOMO. Big time.
Yeah. But
it'll be on it.
It'll
it's
all
being
come.
No.
The graph doesn't look like that. The graph doesn't go da 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 da, what da 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 da, and doesn't fucking come back down. It just doesn't.
It'll come back down. Yeah, it will come back down.
Drastically, half of what it is right now, which is a drastic come down.
But that could be in September.
Yeah, it could be.
You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I mean, you have done better in this than I have, so I'll give you the credit of knowing more than me about this.
But my style is to hold and don't sell whether it's up or down, and just hold for years and years and years. That's my style. You know what I mean? Old school.
Yeah, I didn't take your advice. We talked about this last week because I bought in stocks. And then I just sat and thought about it for a while and was watching what was happening. And I was like, no, I got the wrong idea here. So I took a 2% loss on the stocks and sold the Bumble and the Uber. And I'm like, all this is going into guns. I'm putting all this into fucking Ruger and Smith and Wesson stock.
Oh, okay.
And that one's already gone up 5% for me, the Ruger stock. And I'm like, dude, with Biden in, dude was telling me the other day that they're trying to eliminate online sales of all gun parts. So that'd be AR lowers, that'd be all ammo, that'd be magazines. They're trying to limit that. I was like, dude, this isn't over. We got another fucking year of hot gun sales.
Yeah.
Of just fucking hot gun sales.
Yeah.
It's like this stock is gonna just keep going up and up and up.
That's a good idea.
So that's my plan, to ride the gun. Try to invest in anything to do with guns as much as possible.
Yeah, see, I just don't move it around that much. I just sit and wait.
No, I get it. But I do that. I mean, I feel that way with my 401k. You know what I mean? I don't touch it very much. 50% of it's in a more low risk, bond shit. And then 50% of it's in high risk. And I could sit and get in there and manipulate it more. And I just throw it in a fucking some rich person's portfolio and just have fun. Just do whatever you want. You know what I mean? You have fun with that money.
Look, it kind of aggravates me, people talking shit about crypto. Just because I know.
I don't talk shit about it. I get the base idea of it. I just think because now you guys are high that you don't think you're in a weird little bubble. Because people are all excited. I had a 65-year-old guy yesterday getting all excited about crypto. And I was like, man, fucking you guys are all, I get it. And this is cool. But then he's also excited. He's like, oh, the fucking GameStop thing. And I was like, you guys are just in this weird, there's this weird... There's this weird stock market craze, cryptocurrency craze going on this month. And it was a bunch of people heard about the shorting shit and they got interested and they're doing exactly what I did, just read about it. And now everyone's like, oh, well, I got $500. I'm going to go buy some cryptocurrency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see we're in a bubble. Give it a little bit more time. All that shit's going to fade away. It's going to start chipping down, and then everyone's going to be like, oh, fuck, this isn't a good investment. I just bought when it was worth $53,000.
I saw a meme of Morpheus and Neo, and Neo was like, you're telling me someday I'm going to be able to sell my Bitcoin for millions? And Morpheus is like, no, Neo. I'm telling you that when you're ready, you won't have to. I'm like, fuck, that's so true. I remember telling my cousin in 2018,
do you really see a world where it's just crypto? You really see that actually working? You see everyone in the world buying into it? Because that's what it would take, is everyone has to buy into it. I don't believe it. I don't think it'll ever happen. People are never going to buy into it.
Maybe.
I
mean, there's people that live their lot, they only spend crypto because they have crypto debit cards. So it's just connected to your crypto, and you just swipe it at a gas station, Taco Bell, and that's just how they fucking spend their money.
Okay.
Uber takes it now, and I say things to people. I say, you're gonna be able to use it on Amazon, and they're like, you're fucking crazy, and I'm like, how is that crazy, dude? It's right around the corner. But I'm not. You think I'm in a bubble? People said we were in a bubble 3 years ago.
I just think
I know it's going to correct.
I just think 80% of people are really thinking like me. They're treating crypto as a casino.
Yeah.
They're not buying into the idea that this is a good currency. They don't care about that at all. They're using it to make money. And
Yeah.
so, which I'm
Oh
fine
yeah.
with either. I'm fine with all different takes on this. Like, if you believe it's going to be a currency, I get where you're coming from. Cool. Have fun with it. Like,
Yeah.
I, if you're using it as a stock, as to make money quick, more power to you. I
Yeah.
just am going to set my chips on. I don't see it happening. I don't see this one world fucking currency. I don't see it. I just don't. I don't think we're gonna buy into it, and if we don't buy into it, if Americans don't buy into it, no one else is gonna buy into it. And if
I don't
no
know.
one else, if there's too many countries, and I get the, and then when it's been explained like where it would be really beneficial is like third world countries.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like to where their currency could just lapse and shit like that. But if they have money in crypto, it's not gonna lapse on them. You know what I mean? They could move
Mm.
countries and get away from a dictatorship or something like that and still have their money completely
Yeah.
safe. It's not being held in some bank, fucked up currency in some fucked up country.
Yeah.
Um, but then their governments are never going to buy into it. So that's like a bunch of governments across the world that right off the bat, there's no fucking way they'd give up their currency, and they wouldn't allow their people to do it either. They're not going to allow a crypto ATM machine to pop up in their country. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
in like North Korea or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not going to fucking happen there. So
Right.
you've already done there's already a good amount of percentage that's never going to do it. And I don't see Americans ever doing it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I know there's a lot of very hopeful people out there, but I think you guys are wrong. I don't think
Some of the
I don't think-
coins, a lot of the coins are pretty cool technologies, and they say you either came for the tech and stayed for the money, or you came for the money and stayed for the tech. And it's hard. And then, like what you're saying, there's people that post on groups that I'm in, and they're like, this coin, like Cardano, for example, they're like, Cardano's a shit coin. It's a fucking terrible coin. You're an idiot if you're invested into it. Meanwhile, I've made thousands of dollars off of it, and it's like, why am I listening to this person telling me it's a shit idea when I've already won? You know what I mean? So you're like, it's a bad idea, but it's like you can't say that to people who have already made money off of something.
But
You're not going to convince them.
No. I know, I get it. But what's funny
Yeah.
to me is it not kind of ironic that their whole end goal is to turn that into American currency?
Well, a lot of them hate banks, centralized banking. So they're like, this is a way out of the centralized banking system.
But most people are trying, like, they're like, hey, I put
Yeah.
$1,000 and I've just made $2,000. This is fucking awesome. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
obviously you're not buying into this at all. You
Right.
saw $100 American U.S. currency dollars. Now you see 200 American currency dollars, and you're excited about that. You
Right.
gave two fucks about this currency, whereas
Yeah.
the founders and the people that are really excited about it, they literally are not seeing that. They're not seeing American currency in that situation at all. They're like, I
Yeah.
see the currency. I see the cryptocurrency. That's what
Yeah.
I'm buying into.
Yeah.
That's where I'm saying, that's why I'm saying it's going to fail, is because I think the majority of people, the reason that number is what it is right now is not faith in the Bitcoin. It's faith in making money. Is they're exploiting the crypto to make themselves American currency or
Yeah.
whatever Japanese currency or whatever the currencies are.
Yeah.
That's why
Yes and no.
that's why I'm banking on it failing, or at least not just boop, 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 boop.
Yes and no. Yeah. When Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin a few weeks ago, the profit that they've made off of that is already more profit than they've made off of their cars.
Yeah, but he invested
Smart move.
$1.5 billion.
Yeah, which was a great idea.
Is he going to sell it all, or is it's just in crypto?
Who knows? I don't know. He might have sold it already.
But he said they're going to fucking, you can buy Teslas off crypto.
Yeah, you can now. They fucking did it in like a day. They announced you can do it. The next day on the website you could do it. So Tesla accepts it. Uber now accepts it, and there's somebody else.
I could see him being as much of a dreamer that he would get behind the idea.
I know.
Did you hear about that city in Nevada? They're trying to make a privatized city.
No, but I like the idea.
It has some. It's a dude that's really into blockchain shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he proposed. I think they've already accepted. But the whole idea, they said it's going to take 70 years to complete or something like that. But they are going to make a city that's a privatized city. That a private company is going to get the rights to govern the city. So there'll be no electric company that's ran by the city. There'll be no garbage company, water company. All that shit will be privately ran. Everything in the city. There will be no government. The government will be a private company. And he's like, yeah, the government's just fucked all this shit up. No, it's exciting. Yeah. It was on Lars Larson the other day, and he was going off, and I was like, what an interesting idea. And the guy's all about crypto. He's like, this is going to be the city of the future. And he's like, it'll be privately ran, blah, 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 blah. Like,
I don't hate like the central banking system. I hated when the government had to like bail them out because they're like private companies and all this weird cross private to government bullshit and stuff like that. But a lot of people in crypto hate banks for some reason, and that's their whole thing. But yes, I'll agree. 95, like literally, like over 90% of people on there are just trying to flip money.
Okay,
for sure.
Again, I'm kind of a retard, but. They had a dude on Joe Rogan like a year and a half ago who was explaining how inevitably computers are going to get so advanced that like banking encryptions and shit on like people's bank accounts, anything can be hacked. Like he was explaining, he's like, inevitably we're going to reach a time where there'll be no more security online. Like it's impossible. There'll be no such thing as a safety password protecting anything. He's like, it's a scary, and he was like getting really in depth about how this is going to happen and how inevitably there is no way around it. It's going to happen with AI, like with the computers that can, whatever. Wouldn't that cripple cryptocurrency? In my mind, I'm just like thinking, I put those two things together, and I'm like, inevitably cryptocurrency will fail if there's no such thing as a completely secure thing online. I don't know. I'm too much of a retard because I don't really understand what this mining thing is about. In my mind, I just assume there's a computer writing a bunch of ones and zeros for a really long fucking period of time, and then they're like, no one's ever going to be to recreate this code. Now you have a coin. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah. It's kind of like you're kind of on the right track. Look, I don't understand a lot of that either. That's for sure. I understand looking at charts; those make sense to me. But wouldn't if everything was hackable, that would cripple the U.S. dollar?
Less so, because at least there's like a real product in hand. You just have to completely rely on real hard currency instead of like debit currency.
Less than 10% of the currency.
But it would completely wipe out cryptocurrency.
Well, what people do, the smart people, I don't do it, which is scary to say, but it's like like your E-Trade, it's like you're keeping money on your E-Trade account. So with crypto, it's like you're keeping money on these websites, these exchanges. They're called exchanges. So I have 1,000 Bitcoins, and I keep them on this website. That's where they're stored. That's hackable, right? What the smart people do is they buy these little things that are called ledgers, and it's like a thumb drive. You put it in your computer, you can move your crypto onto the ledger, take it out of your computer, and hide it under your mattress. And then it's offline. Nobody can get it. So a lot of people do that.
I just don't get it. I'm not computer savvy enough to understand it, because I would assume, isn't there a trace of like those numbers, like that whole algorithm?
Yeah, there's a record of it. You just can't access it because it's now offline. It's like you put in your cash into your safe.
I'm not smart enough. I don't understand computers enough, and I feel like if something can be
I don't either.
If something can be hacked, why can't that be hacked? I just don't get it.
If I have a...
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying, isn't there like a trace of it? Wouldn't there be some kind of cache or cookie? Or someone could upload a program that would behind the scenes steal that information, and you would have zero idea that it's being stolen when you're like transferring it onto that card, and you'd be like, oh, it's on this card now, no one can fucking get it, but some hacker has some fucking file that's snuck in some weird code that you would never be able to access on your computer, that's just stealing it and sending it somewhere. Why not? Why not? You know what I mean?
It's like if you have a Word document on your computer and you put it onto a thumb drive and then put that under your mattress. How would they go? How would they get that?
I get that once it's there. But what I'm
Yes.
saying is like in the process of trying to move it from your account onto that, couldn't someone have? You know, I get what you're saying there. But
Yeah.
At some point, you got to plug it back in to use it. At some point, it's got to get plugged into a network.
Yeah.
To be able to transfer it out of there. And at that time, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they could. They could also hack your bank
in my mind, I just assume if someone's saying that inevitably security will be obsolete online, it's a matter of time before that is, well, then what makes cryptocurrency safe? I don't understand that. Why is it that that someone is saying, what I'm assuming is a very smart person is saying inevitably passwords will be pointless. It'll be fucking pointless online.
Yeah.
Why is one person saying this and then another seemingly smart person is saying this is a really good idea and this is how currency will be? Why has no one ever explained to me why those two things don't contradict each other?
I can't explain it. I'm not that smart either. Why do you have to fully understand something in order to invest in it?
No, you don't. You don't.
Exactly. I don't.
I don't. That's why I'm betting against it, because that's just what my instincts tell me to do. Bet against that.
Okay. I could talk about cryptocurrency for hours.
No, I'm glad. I wanted to talk about this. Have you ever heard of sister cities?
Yeah.
You have? I hadn't till the other day.
It's
I was like, what the fuck is a sister city?
Well, isn't like New York and Chicago sister cities and Tokyo and Vancouver sister cities?
Now,
like that?
usually it's like other countries. So that second one you said probably.
Yeah, they say like Tokyo, or maybe it's Paris and New York City, and then like Tokyo and Vancouver, British Columbia.
It's Tokyo.
I've heard it before.
Tokyo and who is Tokyo's? It's not New York.
It's like San Francisco or some shit.
No, I don't know, but I just went down a weird fucking thing because I was so confused by it, and it really doesn't mean anything. It's just
it's weird.
There is some things. I think it started right after World War II was what I was reading. It started right after World War II, and it was an American president that came up with the idea of sister cities, and it was to create like economy between cities, and so you'd make like a pact, and it wasn't like anything legal, but it was just to try to promote like inter country trade and shit like that. So it's like some of them do it pretty well, because it's like, what was it? It was Detroit is I don't know. Detroit has some sister city in some foreign country, and they like sell a special car there or something, like, you know what I mean? Like they do these little exchanges with shit. Anyways, I'm just talking out my ass. It was just something I went down a rabbit hole on this weekend. It was like, I'd never heard of a sister city.
Yeah. I always said back in the day that fucking Sandpoint, Idaho and Williston, North Dakota were sister cities. Because of all the fucking people driving back and forth.
I went down this rabbit hole, which was not related at all, but it's just where I learned about it, the sister cities, which took me down another rabbit hole, was I just learning about Dubai. 'Cause I know what Dubai kind of is, but I was like, what is happening? What is going on in Dubai? Why is it this crazy fucking place? And I felt real retarded. Well,
all I know is that they have
they
have that really tall building, and then there's a lot of Lamborghinis being driven around by like princes, and then that's where girls go from the U.S. They go over there to get like peed on for like $100,000.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
From what I read, you don't want to fuck around. If you're a girl, watch your shit in Dubai.
Really?
Like, because they're in the middle of, they're across the fucking street from Iran. Like, Don't fuck around.
Fuck.
And it's not a good place. Like, you're not supposed to show public displays of affection. No bueno in Dubai. Like,
Right.
you don't fuck girls, don't wear skirts above your knees. Fucking a lot of weird like social rules, but it's because of where it's located on the planet.
Right.
It's on the African side of the Middle East. And
Okay, Jesus.
anyways, what I felt really dumb about. So what it is where it's located makes sense why it's so popular is because it's you wrap around Africa and you're coming into the Gulf where Iran, Iraq, all those countries are, and you're in that like port right there. And like the ocean comes in and it like bottlenecks and then it opens up and you got the Gulf of, it's where the Tigris and Euphrates they go into a bay, and then that bay is like kind of big and that separates Iran from, I don't know. I'm bad with the geography of that area, but right then it comes together, and where it like comes back together before it opens like open waters is on the southern side of that. On the African side that's where Dubai is located. So it's like they're getting all the fucking transport that comes in and out of that Gulf out into the world is like there. And so that's where they all decided to do it. But what I felt really stupid about is I've been watching soccer off and on, coming on TV, and I see the shirts that say, and I'm going to fucking butcher this now anyways, but the
United Arab Emirates.
Yeah. And I've asked for years, like, what is that? And I know I've asked people, and they're like, I don't know what that means. I thought it was an airline company. It's what I thought that was for the longest time. That's how stupid I am. I was like, what is United Arab Emirates? Because you see it everywhere in soccer. It's everywhere in soccer.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is this company that's
that Dubai?
That's the country that Dubai's in. It's a country.
Okay.
UEA. United Arab Emirates. And that's the acronym for that. It's the fucking country. It's a country. I was like, that's a country?
So they've got to be rich as fuck. Probably
Huh?
oil rich. They're rich as hell. It's like the richest place.
Yeah.
Probably oil
there's
or
there's
something.
a grip of money there. There's a grip of money there.
Yeah, it's just Lamborghinis and
I've started
gold.
watching now that I'm a pro stock trader.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot. I don't know. I don't know actually how. I didn't intentionally do it, but my TV now, when it turns on, it's like set to this fucking stock trading TV deal, and it's just nothing but stocks all day. It's just people talking about stocks and shit. And dude, 90% of the show is just set in Dubai. That's when I started looking at it, because I was watching the stock shit, and I'm like, all these people are in Dubai. All the people talking about U.S. shit. All these people talking about Bumble, Uber, blah, blah, blah. They're all in Dubai. They're all like, all these white dudes in Dubai. I'm like, okay, I got to learn about Dubai. But what is going on in Dubai? And then, dude, I went down a rabbit hole. And I guess it's this weird place, a lot of money, and a bunch of people are saying it's still very, like, racist. Like, but not racist and not black and Mexican. Like, obviously, they're in a totally different place. But they're like, good if you're white. White's gold. Like, you want to be white.
Okay.
Or you want to be Saudi.
Yeah.
I think Saudi's the next. And they have a lot of different ethnicities in Dubai. They have I don't know. They have like a bunch of, there's huge percentages of all these different ones. And I've read a bunch of people talking about the racism in Dubai. And they're just like, oh yeah, there's a huge pecking order. Like, you got white people, Saudi Arabians, Japanese people, and like everyone's in their pecking order. And they're like, yeah, you don't fucking,
Who do they hate?
What?
Who do they hate?
You look into it for yourself.
Huh, okay.
I don't know. It was so much information I was going down, but it's just such an interesting place. I don't know. Just I had to read into it a little bit. But really, what I'm getting at, I'm making fun of myself for thinking that United Arab Emirates was an airline, and it's actually one of the wealthiest countries in the world.
Right. I'm scared of going to another country and not being aware of those rules.
Yeah. Like,
that's
don't
scary.
Fucking kiss someone. So you like kiss someone and they're just fucking the knife out, and you're like, whoa, 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 and they're like screaming at you in another language, like, and you're like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what's stab, 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 stab. And there's
Yeah. Or you like put your hand out to shake someone's hand and everyone's like, ah, or if you wave or something. It's like, dude, stop waving. We don't fucking wave. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was like, you hear the story. I remember in high school hearing the story of the dude in Iran or Iraq that gave a peace sign backwards. And it's like a huge sign of disrespect to show someone the backside of your hand. Like to do any symbol backwards is like flipping someone off, and that's how they take that. And so he's just like, yo, 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 you know what I mean? And they fucking murdered this dude. They're just like, yeah, he fucking showed us the backside of his hand.
I mean, is there anything here that a foreign person would be like, not get away with? I don't know. I guess if they just started like pissing or something, they'd be like, oh my God, it's a sex offender or something like that.
Yeah, if you...
I don't know. Yeah. Like maybe they're like changing their clothes in a parking lot and everyone's like, ah, because we're crazy here. And we're like, lock him up. He's a sex offender. I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, unless it was like sexual.
Yeah, sexual is a big one here.
But we don't like if you were ethnic, now it's the day and age. If you were in Portland or anywhere woke, if you're like not from this country, they'd just let you away with anything. They'd be like, oh, he doesn't understand. Doesn't understand.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, I know you don't care, and you're gonna say things that they're not gonna make me happy. But I've started my Sopranos rewatch, which hopefully becomes the annual Sopranos rewatch, because it's fucking amazing.
All the seasons?
Yeah. It's 86 episodes.
You know there's new stuff that comes out? Like you don't have to watch podcasts from 10 years ago. You don't have to watch TV from 10 years ago.
Well, I started listening. This is a nice little treat, because I've started listening to the Talking Sopranos podcast, which is done. I remember the two guys came on Joe Rogan like a year or so ago to say they wanted to start this podcast, and so they're starting it. They're starting it. They started in April 2020, like right when we started, and they like have cast members come on, and they're going episode by episode explaining the episodes and stuff. So it's a nice treat that I'm watching it, rewatching it, and listening to the behind the scenes stuff from people on the show. It's fucking great. It's a fucking great show.
On the podcast, are they going episode by episode? Did you just say that? Okay.
Yep.
Sometimes I space out a little bit.
It's okay.
Just like I'm only getting bits and pieces of what you're saying. I notice that on rewatches sometimes. I don't know if you notice that. But like you'll say something and I'll literally ask it right after you say it. I think that was one of those times that I do that.
It's okay. It's a great show, and I'm fucking enjoying every second of it.
It was decent. It was decent.
You're not a man until you've watched The Sopranos.
Ooh, the worst thing about that show is if you have it on box set. I don't know if you have it on DVD or whatever, but whoever set up their DVD menus is a real piece of shit.
That sounds terrible.
Shit. Oh,
yeah, I actually paid. I'm paying for HBO Max now, so that I can do the rewatch. I signed up for HBO Max, rewatch Sopranos, and HBO Max. That's my plan.
At least watch the John Goodman one. Give it a little bit of a go. That show was great.
The religious thing?
Yeah. You give it a few episodes. Try a few episodes and just, you don't have to do it now, but before you cancel HBO, give it a few episodes. I thought it was really funny.
With Danny McBride?
Danny McBride, John Goodman, the guy from the not Horrible Bosses, the one about the TV show about the three guys that smoke weed all day at work. It was like hugely popular like 4 years
Workaholics?
ago. Yeah, Workaholics. That guy's one of the brothers.
Oh, cool.
It's a funny show, dude.
After I do this, I'll do that. But I'm rewatching it now because there's a movie coming out next month, a Sopranos movie. So rewatch, then the movie. Got the podcast going too. Fucking great. I'm in Mafia land.
Mafia land, dog.
You understand, like, before this was like before Sex and the City, before Oz, before any of these good TV shows. Before this, it was all sitcoms and news. No one was.
Sopranos is, I mean, almost as old as I am.
Well, yeah, they started
Sopranos
in 97.
is 97. I thought it was
Yeah.
before that. Okay, almost as old as you are.
Yeah, I was 6. But we have to think, if you're a fan of frickin' Stranger Things or Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad or any of these shows that are like movies now, the whole tree comes back to that changed everything, that said people want their TV shows to be like movies. And it was like, oh, okay. And then you have the spawn of all the TV shows that you like that are hour-long TV shows. It's fucking brilliant.
Were they really the first to do it?
Yeah, because it's like a movie a week. It's like an hour-long, like, well-made movie. It's basically like a movie every week.
No, I get it. They're the first.
Yeah.
You couldn't argue like the X-Files or...
No.
X-Files followed a storyline. And it was
I think the
Sopranos.
X-Files is like, you don't have to see the previous episode to watch the show. You know what I mean? The Sopranos, you kind of have to. It's like a long form story.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate a little bit. I think
yeah.
the X-Files followed a story somewhat. But I guess all shows follow a story.
Honestly,
somewhat.
I never watched it. And the Sopranos, like, they can say like fuck and cunt, and they can like kill somebody. It's like, damn, people actually wanted this shit.
Yeah.
It's great.
Right. Well, you want to wrap this bitch up?
Yeah. Sorry, people. I was unprepared.
It's all right. I was kind of unprepared too.
In all my years of doing shows, I've never been less prepared than I was today. I'm kind of floating by while Eric is doing most of the work here. And hopefully that changes soon.
It's all right. As long as you don't quit on me, we're all good.
I blame the weather that we've had, that I've been through. So hopefully some inspiration comes with better weather.
It will. Everything's good. We got an hour 42 in. Well, episode 42.
44.
We love you guys. Sorry that all my topics, I didn't even do any research. I just started talking about Dubai, and then I'm like, I guess I don't even really know anything about Dubai. Don't wear miniskirts, I guess. Episode 44. Hopefully that's right back there. He seems to do good about switching the numbers out every week.
This is for me and you to realize what episode we're on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we love you guys. Hope you have a good week. Bye.